Chicken Tikka Masala is something we made up to get money from white people. It is not a real thing. It is edible puppy yoga. Stop doing it.
So I loved watching your special.
Thank you.
I think it's really hard to make something.
I don't know how you got access to it, but you watched it.
Oh, so Netflix gives early screeners to anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not a legal means. It's not BitTorrent.
I'm like, is it on a DVD somewhere on a street corner or whatever? So you watched my special.
I just watched your special, unlike some other people who did not watch your special. Right. But I have to ask you, do you personally believe in the evil eye? Do you think there was ever a moment in your life where you did attract Nazar, apart from the moment you spoke about?
No, that's the first time I felt it. And it was a moment of such utter desperation that I was like, this is probably it. And then the journey of the special is kind of saying, okay, do you talk about your happiness? Do you not? And I start out in the special believing that you shouldn't talk about your happiness and this is why this happened to me. And then I think the ending part of the special is to say, no, you should scream your happiness from the rooftops. You should share. You should project your joy, not protect it. So I think that's the arc of the story in the special.
Yeah, so you now believe like it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay to be.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I wish I had that confidence. I feel like there's always Nazar. So full volume, I'm an idiot. It took me a long time to realize what full volume was, like full volume. Were there other titles you were considering that then you discarded? Like how did you know that this was it? This was the title?
I think it's the volume at which you be silly. The show was called Mindful, so it was the Mindful tour. It's a sillier show. If you saw my last show and you see this one, it's kind of stupider and I'm having a little more fun on stage. And I think the arc of it is also to say, I lost my voice and when I got it back, I just wanted to be stupid and have a little bit of fun. And that's what the show is. So it's the volume of foolishness, I guess.
And you didn't think of any, there was nothing else that like hit the cutting floor and you're like, no.
We thought of calling it Mindful. We thought of calling it Veer Das, the Fool. Yeah. But I kind of like full volume, but then I lost my voice and then it became full volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, so I have to talk about some tidbits you spoke about in the special. One of them that my entire team loved Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
Shah Rukh Khan told you he was proud of you.
He did, yeah.
Can you tell us about that moment?
It was at the premiere of Archie's, and it was in Mumbai, and I just won an International Emmy. And I showed up, and I think there's a picture of it on the internet as well, where he just kind of grabbed me and kissed me on the cheek, and he's like, I'm so proud of you. And that's a big one. Shah Rukh Khan is the epitome of showed up with a suitcase, became the king of the city, and makes you believe it could happen for you too. And so, as someone who showed up in Mumbai with a very minute comedy scene and not a lot of comedy prospects as a stand-up comic, I relate to his journey tremendously. So to have that man say he's proud of you is very kind. I don't know if he even remembers it because there's always 1,000 people around Shah Rukh Khan. I got that one picture and he was just like, I'm so proud of you. And it's a big moment for me.
No, that's such a huge moment for everyone.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like there's so many parallels between your stories. I'll get to it in a second. But one of my favorite things you also said is that you were a person who showed up with their suitcase with not much money and made something happen. Do you think, you're also an econ major, so I can ask you this question. Do you think that that's still true? Do you think anybody can show up in Bombay today with a suitcase, with a few $100s in a pocket, or even less, a few hundred rupees, and make it? Or do you think that's cheat? Is there something easier? Is there something harder?
Lifestyle is definitely harder. Economics of it are much harder. But I think what is always retained is, I think in Mumbai, as opposed to LA and sometimes New York as well, there's room for everybody's dream in Mumbai. And we're kind of used to dreams.
Yeah.
A Mumbai local is the most crowded thing you've ever seen. But try and jump on a Mumbai local and someone will be like, hey, come in. And people will move around and kind of find you a spot. You'll be stuffed up against each other. But someone will grab your hand and be like, come on, jump. Yeah. Get on the train. And I think that's emblematic of Mumbai. Whether they understand you or not, whether they think your dream is practical or not, someone will be like, come on, get on the train. And I think that's really beautiful about Mumbai. So, which is not to say you don't need to be safe, you don't need to be secure, you don't need to be provided for, which is not to say 1,000 dreams don't die every hour in Mumbai, but there's space for everybody's dream. I think, nobody's success really comes at the expense of somebody else's success in Mumbai.
Yeah.
It just comes, or it doesn't,
It's like it's a pie that keeps growing. It's not a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
There was a moment in your special that I literally had to pause because I was laughing for 2 minutes.
Oh, great. Okay, I was like, oh shit. All right, cool. All right, huh?
I don't know if you can guess the moment before I go and not tell you what it is.
I don't know. I don't want to guess. You tell me.
Okay.
You're the audience.
So you said something that, English is a privilege.
Yeah.
And, it's very difficult to go around speaking English. And some people that speak English, they're actually very poor countries.
Yes.
And one of them is England.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. India is now richer than its former colonizer. Yeah. India was richer before England even
has more English speakers than England.
Correct.
Right now.
So, one of the things about the special is, as you point out, you go to all these different cities. You go to London, you go to New York, and go to Mumbai. Those are the ones that show up on camera. You obviously did way more during your tour.
Yeah.
England does feel like it's a little bit in decline. Like, it has gotten poorer. Like, there's Malays, there's Brexit. Like, that joke landed, I think, for a lot of Americans. That's what we truly feel. You go to Europe, you go to Italy, you don't see any British people anymore. What do you think is happening with England?
I don't know so much. I think it might be a bit of a demographic crisis. I don't think they're having enough kids. So I think a lot, you won't see English people out and about there in the Cotswolds or in their suburban home. But, if you go on Oxford Street, if you go to Shoreditch High Street, it's, it's diverse people because that's who the young people are.
Yeah.
So what I would say to you is have a little more sex and make some more babies and maybe this won't be the problem. You know what I mean? We're not taking your jobs. You just need to bang more. You know what I mean? That's it. Just have more sex.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, England, you have heard that. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how you'll get richer again and follow what India has done. But I think it's interesting because there's always been this weird both Stockholm syndrome and yet this competition with England, which is now India feels like it's better, but GDP.
But also I think every other brown comic, much like myself, goes there and punches a little bit. You know what I mean? And by the way, well deserved. You had 300 years with us. Give us 80 punching back, we'll be all right. You can take it,
My other thing that I love about you is you don't explain all your jokes. You really let them deal with it and go with Google, go ask ChatGPT. One of my other favorite jokes of yours was about Lady Mountbatten. And I'm not going to reveal the joke here. But you seem to be a student of history, because the other thing that caught my eye was that you were talking about a Bihari man who was the Bihari Schindler and brought back these Jewish women.
It's a movie I hope to make someday. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So how do you come upon these stories? What makes you a student of history? When did you realize you were getting obsessed with some of these historical moments?
My grandfather is, his name is Brijbir Das. And he is IPS, police officer, IAS, diplomat, IFS, foreign service, India's first ambassador to Bhutan. I think in the Russian embassy as well, he was there. Then ran Air India, then ran the Indian Airports Authority, and then retired with the Padma Shri from the Prime Minister, which is
Incredible.
our knighthood, if you will, right?
So you're a Nepo baby.
I'm not in the government. But I kind of grew up in a house with a man who was severely influenced by history and kind of knew it. And then my father is this extraordinarily intelligent man who graduated St. Stephen's and also grew up around the world where my grandfather took him. So I grew up with two men who really, really just knew the world really well. That's it.
That's incredible. My father-in-law is also St. Stephen's.
Yeah.
There's something in the water.
There's something about that. Yeah,
there's something about St. Stephen's boys. Speaking about your family legacy, I have counted at least 4 tweets where you were talking about people keep on thinking you're Bengali.
Yeah.
But you're half UP, half Bihari.
And I sell 5,000 tickets in Kolkata and then I'm like, I'm from UP and Bihar. So.
If you were Bengali, what do you think you'd be like?
I don't know. According to people, I'd be like what I am now, apparently. I remember when I first entered the film industry, they were like, oh, he's like early Rahul Bose. And I'm like, I'm from Patna. What are you talking about? And Rahul Bose is very muscular and very eloquent. I don't know. If I was Bengali, I would sell more tickets in Bengal. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it would be.
Okay, speaking about your foray into Bollywood, Delhi Belly just recently had an anniversary that is one of the most incredible movies, I think, that really changed cinema at the time.
Still holds up.
Did you know when you were going into it what it would become? What does that mean to you today?
Everybody knew. I'm not going to lie. We all had this sense that we were getting away with it. I think we were so early. Imran had just done Jaane Tu. I was a background guy in Love Aajkal and I'd come into this movie. Kunal Roy Kapoor had done 1 movie, maybe 2. I think this was Abhinay's first movie as an ad filmmaker. Akshat's first movie as a writer. And we were all like, oh, this is never going to happen again in our career, to be given this kind of freedom by an Amir Khan to go out and make this authentic project. So I think all of us kind of had this collective sense on set that let's do the long shift. Let's let's share the vanity van. Let's do what we need to do because this doesn't come around.
I mean, I remember interviewing Purna Juggernaut about it,
Yeah.
and she was like, I don't really do Bollywood, but
Yeah.
like I did Delhi Belly. And to this day, she's like, that's one of her favorite films.
She's outstanding. Like, what an actor, right? I mean, as you know, I think we have a complicated relationship with the word Bollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we call it the film industry, right? But I don't think Delhi Belly slots into your average commercial movie.
No.
And it was also kind of zeitgeisty in that it was very young, it was talking about sex, it was very foul language, which, by the way, today is par for the course. Like, you could watch Mirzapur and you can watch, Call Me Bae, and you'll find similar levels of language.
Yeah.
It's just young people hooking up and having fun, etc. So I think it was also the first of its kind for that. It was a young zeitgeist movie, and that 5-year period of time, just really cool shit was happening. Think about it. There was Dev D, there was Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, there was Delhi Belly, there was Heather, there was I think Rajkumar Rao's first movie kind of came out. Shahid, I think, came out. Like, everybody was kind of just they had theatrical security for really experimental cinema.
To talk about the sexual jokes,
Mm-hmm.
you have such smart writing, and you even explain to people how to write a joke in the special. Watch, it's very educational. But there were moments where I was also surprised when like it kind of veered towards like more sexual territory.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, Veer doesn't really need this because you don't really need it.
So which
Compared to
part are we
other
talking
things.
about? Which sexual? I'm trying to think of the bit.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few.
There's a few. And I was like, and I was like, wait, he doesn't even need this. But like, let me talk to you about that because everything you do, I think, is very intentional.
Yeah.
What is the power of making certain jokes sexual and going into that territory? Like, what does that allow you to do? Or like, what do you think it allows you to do when it comes with the audience? Like, I'm curious. Tell us about that.
I think a special needs a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? It needs your thoughtful moment. It needs your discomfort. It needs a character arc. But then you need silliness and you need stupidness and you need to sing tunak tunak tun a little bit. And you need to, I just think it needs those pockets. And sometimes if you see a perhaps sillier or edgier bit, craft-wise, it's trying to offset something uncomfortable that just happened or set you up for something uncomfortable that's going to happen.
Got it.
So a special kind of meanders between things you want to hear and things I want to say a little bit. And so sometimes I know that if I just did a bit where I did 3 cities in darkness and the audience is viscerally uncomfortable, it helps to have like a gun control bit right after that and kind of lighten and make fun of America a little bit and kind of bring it back up,
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that explanation.
Yeah.
America. You have also spoken about overstaying your visa. You've also been really outspoken about saying that America might no longer be the hot girl at the party. Like it might be in a little bit of decline. What do you think is going on with America? I know I'm asking for all these like takes, but like I feel like you're a really smart observer.
At some level, who the hell am I, right? But I don't know. I think you're going through a tantrum. I think that's the best way I can describe it. Maybe it's not a phase; it's a tantrum. Like there's a child in Toys R Us who holds its breath and like stomps really hard. I think you're there, and I hope you breathe soon. But I honestly don't know. I think it goes back to what we're saying, which is that it's a bigger table now, and there's room for more people at the table. So I think you earlier thought maybe it was a 2-person table or a 3-person table, and now it's a conference table, but you still have the big seat at the table. There's just more people at the table, and that doesn't mean that somebody's taking your seat. Is what I would submit to.
Yeah. Do you think, there's that saying about rappers, like, they rap about their pain, like 99 problems, then they get really wealthy.
Yeah.
And they have no problems, and it's really hard for them to draw upon, creativity and be creative. Do you think that, there's a set of comedians we're seeing these days, and I would include you in them, who are becoming so successful. Do you think comedians, you did go through some pain recently.
Yeah.
Do you think comedians must go through pain? Do you think they must suffer to have the kind of material for these sets? Or do you think that, once they become successful, the fount kind of runs dry? Like, what's your take on that kind of give and take between creativity and suffering and pain?
I don't know. I think if you want to get to the point that you've done your 10,000 hours, and that is usually quite a painful journey. But I also think you don't want to revel in your success. So if you notice, like the starting point of a special is the last version of you that they saw in public life,
Yes.
right? So the last time I was seen in public life, I won an Emmy and I hosted them, right? So if you notice, the second I walk out on stage, I invalidate the Emmy pretty much instantly,
Yeah.
to not revel in it at all. So I think you have to do that as a comic. What I try to do with this special is put the audience on a pedestal a little bit and not make it about the comedian. There's a line where I say, nobody's really watching the comedian, they're listening to the audience.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of my learning on this special as well. So the special is not very much about me. It's very much about a voice and what it means to have them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do, raise us up, but you also take us down, and I know why. I'm not going to give that away. I thought it was really good.
Well, please tell me. We can give it away. It's special.
I thought it was really funny that you're like, the audience should be arrested.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a really fun take because, it's like if a tree falls in the forest, there's nobody able to listen to the tree fall, right? Similarly, if a comedian tells a joke and they're arrested for it, which we have heard about from across the pond, is it the comedian's fault or is it the person who took it?
I'm just saying it's both of our faults. Like I'm saying you should share in this plate a little bit. Because if I say something and there's no laughter attached to it, it doesn't piss anybody off. It only pisses people off when your laughter meets my line.
Yeah.
And your laughter annoys them way more than my line. My line they've heard 1,000,000 times before. Some version of it, expressing that truth. But 2,000 people laughing at it is not an easy experience for somebody to hear.
That's true.
Your fault.
Thank you. It is my fault.
Yeah.
I used to be always put in the front when I was like growing up with my friends who were stand-up comedians because they're like, she laughs really a lot, so they're gonna put me in the front. You have had such a full plate. You have a book coming out later.
Yeah.
You have this special. You are on tour. You're on tour right now. You're on all these flights. You've talked about burnout, and I want to talk about it because I've been through that so many times. What do you think causes it for you personally? And whenever you experience it, how do you get out of it?
I'm not doing one thing. So I'm touch wood, in a place where writing a book is a very different part of your brain and co-directing a movie is a very different part of your brain. And so, the minute I feel too isolated, I'm on a movie set and it's collaborative and there are 20 departments trying to make me better. And the minute that's done and I want to chill a little bit, you're reflective in a book and, there's things to go through with that. So I think being on the road as a comic 50 weeks a year can lead to burnout. But with me, not so much. And also, I've worked really hard to be this exhausted. People are finally listening to my art a little bit. I waited a long time for this. It's go time.
Yeah. Okay. I feel you. Okay.
Yeah.
So like when you are in those moments, when you do feel those moments of exhaustion, I understand you're doing different things. What's your advice to get out of the funk?
Do something else. Work, but work at something else. I'm a Mumbaiker, so there's no we keep working.
I know. What break are you talking about?
But try something else. Challenge yourself a little bit. Scare yourself a little bit. The thing I'm most scared of is not the special, but an announcement that will come 2 weeks after the special. So
you can't tell us about it.
I can't tell you about it, but and it's much smaller and much less in scale, and will make me far less eyeballs or money or anything. But it's far more exciting because it's a different part of my brain.
What do you think makes a good comedian?
I don't think there is one good comedian. There's a good comedian for you. And you have to tell me what a good comic is for you. I don't know if me and your average arena comic in America and a really posh British comic who's on the BBC a lot, we don't have the same audience, but we're good for someone.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know what that is. I just think a special is an authentic snapshot into what a person's going through. Right. And for instance, in this special, I lost my voice. And then that became the show because that's an authentic snapshot of what my voice was.
I think a lot of people, I know this only because I've seen you in action, but I've seen so many comedians in action. And even to write 1 hour special takes so much time.
Yeah.
Takes so much energy, takes so many flops of, trying and trying and trying until you master it. Was there a segment or a part or one of your favorite parts of the special that took a long time to master or to get right? But then when you nailed it, you're like, oh my God, thank you.
There is a bit that, look, not everything the comedian says the audience has to agree with, right? And sometimes I'll say things that we both blatantly disagree with. It's a false lead, right? So there's a bit in here where I go, racists are a marginalized community.
Yes.
Right? Now, that's a really hard sell on an audience. Because the minute you say racists are a marginalized community, the audience is like, what are you talking about? I'm not on this bus at all. And I'm not serious and you're not serious. But that's an interesting bit to write.
Yeah.
To still get a laugh out of you in that moment. So that bit took a while. That premise, I haven't seen a comedian do that premise.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I feel bad for racists in 2025 as they lose validity with the universe.
Yes.
So have empathy for racists, right? So I'm pretty proud of how that turned out. But that took a year of touring to get right, that bit.
Speaking of, you haven't seen any other comedians use it, we have to talk about people who copy you. So as in, you posted that there's these students who use your bits for their college essays and things like that.
Yeah.
So, and there was another time where you were talking about this police officer and you were talking about copyright infringement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I was accused of stealing a joke from myself. So I wrote both jokes.
Of course, correct. But these college kids are stealing your stuff.
Yeah.
And they're getting into Cornell and stuff. How do you feel about that? Like, justice for Veer Das?
I feel not justice. I feel complicit in ruining their life a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I'd hate for one of them to get rejected because they quoted me. Like that's the DM I don't get, right? When you get accepted, like I get the DM, but there must be maybe 2 or 3 kids who are like, man, I quoted that Veer Das guy and I got rejected. And I should have quoted that other comic. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to switch gears and talk about the International Emmys for a bit.
Yeah.
I was following your journey here. We're going to talk about fashion here. And one of the most remarkable things you did is you did an open call out and you're like, I'm tired of wearing all these known designers.
Yeah.
They're dressing everybody these days. And I think there was another amazing editor-in-chief who was talking about how all these Indian designers, they keep dressing the celebrities. Then when a paying customer wants to go to them and be like, oh, I want to wear this. Oh, that person already wore it. Like, what's next, right? There's that sense. But what you did was a completely different approach where you're like, hey, I want to know who are these up-and-coming people that I can support?
Yeah.
How did you come up with that idea? And what was that experience like? And are you doing that for every single show? Or what's
pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who got let into the Magic Castle because somebody was like, hey, come on in, So why the hell would I not do that for other people? I'm very much a product of random kindness from strangers. So why would I not do that? I also believe that underdog energy combines, so if I'm wearing the underdog's outfit, maybe, it helps my performance a little bit. And then it's just nice to see, the girl who dressed me for the Emmys, she put more thought into it than I promise you the entire top echelon of designers would ever put into this thing. And to her, it doesn't matter who the celebrity is. To her, it matters what the platform is. So she looks at me as a red carpet at the International Emmys, etc., etc. And that is, I think, a different way to design.
Yeah.
When you design not for the celebrity, but for the platform that they're showcasing you on, all of a sudden you will showcase more India. It looked like a very basic outfit, but there was a lot of thought. Every button, every the work on the shirt, the kamarband, etc.
There was an emerald.
There was an emerald, etc. So, but
kamarbands, by the way, are Indian. Let's be very clear about this. They're not British. They're Indian.
But then you're not thinking, oh, how do I make his chest muscles look awesome? You know what I mean? Or how do I make his biceps pop? You're thinking, oh, I'm putting India on a red carpet. What do we do? That's a different, I think, mentality to design from.
Yeah, and I think it was such a spectacular moment, and I thought it was really, really thoughtful.
Thank you.
Congratulations for that. The other side of fashion, we'll go to the shoes. Your Prada Kolhapuri chappal comment went viral.
Yeah.
You're like, the Prada Kolhapuri price should include,
an Indian mother who beats the hell out of you. Yeah.
Correct. I don't know if you've noticed this narrative arc. I don't know if this will ever end up in any of your bits, but the Prada executives have now landed up in Kolhapur.
Oh, yeah?
To interact with the artisans. So I don't know if you follow this arc or situation, but we have to talk about this, which is so much.
Look,
it's getting tiring.
I'm also a little bit. Look, how do I put this? That's a joke, right? But I think when you grow up in the diaspora, you are protective of culture, right? And that's your experience because you live in a smaller world of culture. So you really got to hold on to it really hard because you're far away from home. But the Indian experience is, yeah, share. You know what I mean? So, like, if we see Justin Trudeau come in and wearing the sherwani and doing bhangra, or if we see a white person at a wedding, we're like, dress him up, make him wear everything. Let's share with this guy.
Yeah.
Because we live surrounded by the culture, right? So, I think that's the. So I wasn't mad at it. I was mad at the price, and I was mad at how much of that would go to the artisans.
I think that's really interesting. You said it's like the diaspora thing. I think it's also because there's this diaspora trauma.
Yeah.
Where we're like made fun of for like the very things that like
Yeah, sure.
white people usually are the ones who are like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like oiled hair is now the drenched summer look. I don't know if you've caught that. That's the latest. Whereas when I went to elementary school and had oil in my hair, people were like, oh, what is that? Your hair is sticky. Like, you know, it's just, I think there's that going on. But okay, I have a couple more questions for you, but then we have to wrap up soon, which is, I think you said that, I have to talk about this because you post some of the most hilarious screenshots of this. You said that 50% of real news articles feel like they're written by ChatGPT.
Don't they? Don't they? They do, don't they?
I'm certainly not the ones writing them. The Juggernaut is not writing using ChatGPT.
Yeah, but I feel like not the breaking news stories, but like something like a generic news story is very ChatGPT-esque right now.
Very
I feel
true,
like,
very true. Do you think people are using ChatGPT for jokes? Like, do you think ChatGPT can be funny ever? Like, what's happening here?
But by the way, I'm not mad at you using it for. I know a lot of people in India who may not have the best English written skills.
Yeah.
And AI is very empowering for them to write an email to a corporate, setting from across the world. So I'm not mad at that. I just feel like, man, journalism has really got to be,
I mean, we just need your character from Call Me Bae on.
Yeah, sure. He's a journalist for sure. Yeah. Yeah. As filmmakers go, female DPs and female editors are unbeatable. I think I've only directed 3 things, but all of them had been edited by 2 different women. But there is a clarity of editing a piece of fiction that I didn't have and they did.
That's fair. I think Anurag's editor is also a woman.
I think Martin Scorsese's editors, I think Quentin Tarantino's editors are all women as well.
Okay, so you love movies. What's your letterbox top 4?
Rang De Basanti, Little Miss Sunshine, The Matrix, Part 1, and Back to the Future.
Okay. That's a solid list.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna play this or that. This is gonna be very fast. This is gonna be very familiar.
Okay.
Okay, ready? It has to be fast. Empanadas or samosas?
Samosas. I don't know what an empanada is. Is it a Spanish samosa? Is that what it is? Yeah? Samosas. Yeah.
Fish and chips or burgers?
Fish and chips.
Guacamole or hummus?
Guacamole or hummus? Achar.
Okay, churros or donuts?
Donuts.
Enchiladas or chicken tikka masala?
Enchiladas. Chicken tikka masala is something we made up to get money from white people. It is not a real thing. It is edible puppy yoga. Stop doing it.
Hot dogs or vada pav?
Vada pav, any day. Vada pav above this whole list.
Okay, now we're gonna play New York, London, and Mumbai edition.
Okay.
Pizza or fish and chips?
Pizza.
Fish and chips or ilishmat?
Yeah. Or what?
Ilishmat.
What is that?
That's if you were Bengali, you would know this.
I have no idea what that is.
It's just shadfish.
Listen, I'm from Bihar. Ali Parwal. I'll pick Aloo Parwal. All right.
This is mach with like, the mustard in it, and they put in like this banana.
And what's the other option again?
Fish and chips.
Chalo, fish and chips.
Okay, chalo. Pint of beer or a glass of Old Monk?
Pint of beer, pint of cider.
Okay. A burger or a Bombay sandwich?
Burger.
Chicken tikka masala or butter chicken?
Butter chicken? Why? Abolish chicken tikka masala. What do you... Yeah.
Korean fried chicken?
He said in an Indian restaurant that maybe serves it. I don't know. Do you serve chicken tikka masala on the menu? Yeah, you do? I love it. It's great. It's good stuff.
Okay, Korean.
Try the Gupshup chicken tikka masala.
Korean fried chicken or tandoori chicken?
Tandoori chicken.
Bagel or idli?
Idli.
Soup or dal?
Dal.
Biryani or pasta?
Pasta.
Okay. Anything that you want to leave our audience with, the Juggernaut audience with us before we let you go?
I
Special in this book and all the stuff going on.
watch my special, and I hope to carry across this very long Air India flight that takes me here, an India that your parents won't tell you about, but that you should experience. And that's what I'm bringing to you. So please watch.
Thanks so much, Veer.
All right, this is fun.